Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. And in today's video, we have a new tool from Hardell. Now, if you haven't seen the video for this one, I'll put the link up here and down in the description. They originally sent me this small little rotary tool, a Dremel. You know, everybody knows rotary tools by the brand name Dremel, but basically it is a small rotary tool, adjustable speeds, cordless, and has a little light in the front of it. I did the review on it. I really like the tool. It's not for hardcore, you know, super duty stuff, but for typical workbench stuff, for RC, for modeling, dioramas, whatever, this thing is great. I've used it, I would say, at least 6 times since I've gotten it, and still on the same initial charge, and it's really handy to have at the bench. Comes with a little carrying case, accessories, all that stuff. But that's not what today's video is about. You can go watch the other video to learn all about that. So Hardell enjoyed the first review, so they want to send this over to me. So what this is, it is a smaller rotary tool. It's essentially a pen engraver. So let me take it out of the box. So you get a charger for the small 3.7 volt rechargeable battery. So it's 3.7 volts, 1200 milliamp. I'm assuming it's probably lithium ion. I don't know, it doesn't say specifically. But you get the included charger in it. This will also charge your regular 18650s, so if you guys have flashlights or anything like that that has 18650s, it'll charge those as well. Simply just slides in, makes contact, light goes red when it's charging, goes green when it's done. Super simple. So you get the battery, you get a small little tube of bits. I'll show those in the up close. And then this is your rotary tool. Yeah, it's the size of a pen. And it feels good. It feels like it's about the thickness of a Sharpie. Actually, it's about the thickness of one of the Sharpie fine points. It's got a nice little ridged area down here. Gives you some grip to it, but it's not like annoying knurled, or it's not super smooth to where it feels slick. It has just enough grip to feel comfortable. It's stout. The on-off switch is up here, so it's just a press on, press off, and then it unscrews for the battery. So all of your motor and everything is contained in the front half, and essentially the back half is nothing but the battery and the on-off switch. And again, click on, click off. Now, this does not have various collets like the rotary tool does. This one only has the single size collet. Looks like the standard 1/8 inch that you would see with most rotary tools. It comes with 2 extra grub screws, which is what holds the bits in. So it comes installed with one, has 2 extras in here, and a 1.5 millimeter tool. You get your instructions, not a whole lot to it. I basically just covered 90% of what's in the instructions of how everything goes together. And then you get these little stencils. So obviously, with being an engraving tool, these are designed to, you know, tape them down to a glass, you know, something like a candle holder, something like that, and be able to engrave on there. Obviously, freehanding, you can do whatever you want, but you do get the stencils with some like Christmas, general shapes, swirls, letters, all that good stuff. Now, I did say I was going to keep all the reviews strictly for RC. Now, I do think this can be helpful in RC. Not quite as much as the rotary tool. And I explained this to him, but I did come up with some ideas of stuff you could do with it. Now, 2 things off the top of my head. These things are great for engraving your name into any of your tools. So if you're going to the track and you have a very nice, expensive set of tools, or even cheap ones, you can actually get down on the inside and engrave your name on the inside of your tool. So you don't have to like scribe it on the outside or anything. So you're not taking a really nice Huddy tool or, you know, a MIP tool and, you know, carving Paul into the outside of it. I took mine and engraved it onto the inside in there. You know, with the pen, you have excellent control, and all you got to do is just sit there and write your name. It's not that big of a deal. For RC and for modeling, I think it would be great for putting in extra little details. In this windshield, this is the junk one out of my Super Blackfoot I just built. I put a bullseye crack and then spider cracks coming off of it. You'll see this better in the up close. But something like that, putting in small details into RCs, die-cast models, regular models, yeah, dioramas, whatever, anything that you need a tiny little, really extremely fine detail, you can do with this. I did find a glass. I used one of the stencils here to carve in a little dinosaur silhouette, and I actually have a little letter C here, and I'll show you that up close. That may actually be kind of a cool, fun little idea, to do for yourself as a little project. But let me get all this stuff cleared off. Let me get the overhead camera set up, and we're going to take a look at some of this stuff up close to see what you can do with this thing. Okay, here's an up close of your little engraver. Again, you have your push button on the back. You have the little tiny set screw to put in your bits. Now the bits, I'll take an up close picture of these so you guys can see a little bit better. But those are your engraving bits. 3 tiny little ball tip bits and 3 very fine tip. Now the edges do have the diamond grit or whatever's on there as well. So you could use these on the side or at the tips. For this, we're just going to put one of the little ball end ones in because it's probably what most of us are going to use. But I will change it out for a sharp tip here in a second. So, bits in, that's all. And I mean, you're ready to set up to start drawing. Now, you do need to keep your finger back from this because that little thing is spinning at a high rate of speed and has a little tiny little nub sitting out there. So if your finger's on that, you turn it on, it's going to, but it doesn't hurt, But it will give you a little bit of an alarm. Now, one of the things I did is I put the tiny little rock chip in there, and then I just started making cracks off of it. Now, it's over exaggerated. Obviously, a crack in the windshield wouldn't be this excessive, but I was just playing around with it. Another thing I did is I put in 2025 Addam's Playground. So this would not show in the build, but I would know it's there, and you could sign your kits like that if you wanted to. Obviously, you could put it back here as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Super simple. Now, of course, I'm just doing this super quick just to get it done, but obviously taking your time, you get a whole lot better detailed, and if you have handwriting that's better than mine, of course it'll come out better. So here's the glass that has the little T-Rex, and that was one of the silhouettes, or one of the stencils that was on there. And here's that C I was telling you about. All I did was I stuck one of the CNHL decals onto the glass, and I literally cut right through the glass. So let's get some scissors here. So of course for my test I had to peel it off to see what I was working with, and I did come back in and clean it up a little bit to straighten out some of the lines a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick the other decal on here. Like so, and then we're going to do the end. Peel the sticker off. Now we have the end in there, and of course I can come back in, do another line around it, and clean it up and make it as bold as that one. But you could make your own little drinking glass, and put whatever logo you wanted to on there. If I wanted to put an Addam's Playground, I could etch that all the way across the top of the glass. You know, of course, I don't think many RC guys are going to go through this hassle, but you know, you never know. A friend of yours may start up a channel and you want to send them something cool, and you know, you could borrow their logo and engrave it on the glass. Like I said, just something goofy. I think a lot of people would be more into doing stuff like this. You know, engraving the inside of your tools. So got my generic shock pliers, so we can work on putting my name on that. So it's not like it's going to take you hours to mark up all your tools with your name on them if you wanted to. Now let me put the thin one back in, and we're going to work on his windshield a little bit. So again, you know, with a rotary tool, you could probably do this, but you're not going to have that pin accuracy. So let's put another rock chip in and some cracks. There you go. A little less chaotic this time. So you can see I got this tiny little rock chip in the middle, and then the cracks coming off of it. And again, this is just freehanding it. Obviously, you could be copying kind of an image or something to get the cracks and everything to look more proper. But it's not protruding out. It doesn't like stand out or anything. And you know, you could put rock chips into like a Matchbox car window with the size and control of that tip. You know, the tip on that thing is teeny tiny, so you're writing with like a very, 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 very sharp pencil, and it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure just to scratch this plastic like that and get the things on there. All right, guys, so again, not going to be one for everybody, but this will do probably most of your regular RC stuff. This would probably be going into kind of that ultra scale, you know, super detailed builds, or if you guys are into plastic models, being able to put in tiny little cracks and detail lines in there that aren't, you know, deep enough, or, you know, you really want to get some paint down into something so it highlights something. You know, a ton of ideas you guys could do with it. I will probably use it for, you know, like I said, working on scale stuff, scribing in lines, and you know, I'm going to test it out on some other stuff, bigger, like little polishing pads, like the little polishing cones and stuff like that, to be able to get in and, you know, really get in and clean up stuff. You know, sky's the limit. Obviously, you can't overburden this thing. It's a teeny tiny little motor. You burden it too much, it's probably going to burn out. I'm going to test it out, see what it does, see what I can do with it, and I'll have something probably in a follow-up and an update to let you guys know, hey, I'm able to run this, I'm able to run this. You know, I'm thinking maybe like a tiny little wire wheel to be able to get in and buff around ball joints, like pivot balls and stuff like that. I don't know. This one was a little bit of a stretch for the RC crew, but I know a lot of guys in the RC crew, you guys are into plastic models, you're into, you know, building model trains, stuff like that. So I think something like this would help out. Now, you can't put the thing back into the kit with the bits in it. They have to go back in a container, and I would suggest taking the battery out. Both, you know, if there is any parasitic drain just from it sitting in there, I doubt it, because it's basically just a click on, click off. But, you know, just to be on the safe side so this thing doesn't get dropped and turn on inside the case and you not know it. But anyway, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Sorry if it turned into a little bit longer than I expected. But that's what happens sometimes. But I think you guys that are racing, going to the track all the time, you know, maybe autographing some of your stuff may be of interest to you. Like I said, I'm sure the RC community is great. There's probably not a lot of stuff wandering off, but, you know, also maybe sign the inside of your bodies, you know, for your grandkids and stuff later on once you pass them down. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Everybody out there, you guys be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.